Anyway, it's been interesting, and I still, despite all that, appreciate the activity in the chat. And finally getting to the point where we are discussing this model, this idea. I'm very happy about that. I thought it was never going to happen. So thanks for trying. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. Oh, a little bit of blue sky. Nice. Just a little bit though. Yeah, thanks. No, Cyberblitz, you are like one of those individuals that's not like, you really do your best, and I've come to appreciate, well, not only your support, you get like a bunch of subscriptions and all that, but also the way you talk. And I think Maxed Out Bear may be like boycotting me or something right now. He is still around. I do see him at Owen Benjamin's. I don't know. I don't think I was super unreasonable that last time. Does my previous comment apply to the concept? It's like the subconscious is a library and the conscious. It's not a really complete sentence though, LSG. Oh, the subconscious is the guy checking out a book. Yeah. Right. The subconscious accommodates for the conscious. So yeah, that is actually a good analogy. I mean, don't know why you put the sentence, you split it up there in a very weird way when it is obvious. It should be one sentence, but yes. Yeah, that model is correct. That's a good other metaphor. Below conscious awareness. Yeah, I know, Moich. I know it means that. I literally explained that like 10 minutes earlier. What? But fine. Maybe you have like a lot of delay or something. Right? A child know their parents take care of them if they're attuned properly to actually want to do that. It can feel it, but in its awareness, it's not super aware about what bothers the parent. And the parent keeps it to themselves. And so it is with the subconscious. The subconscious doesn't necessarily bother the conscious with everything that it's processing. It might, like through dreams, or even PTSD is like in a way a communicate. It's like acting out. It's the subconscious acting out over something that happened. And your consciousness is like not really capable of dealing with it properly, and that's why it is a trauma. But it's presented by the subconscious. The subconscious is like dealing with it, and then the conscious like can't touch it. That's why it's like a trauma. Because the parent holds back stuff that it understands. It holds it back from the child because that's adult stuff. It's too young for that. Can't handle it, and they often can't. Until the point where they literally start to ask about it because they're like maturing in their consciousness and wanting to know what else is out there that they haven't seen. Right? But when they're not like that yet, and they're still just exploring with things and walking around and fooling around, like, yeah, they're not ready to like learn about mature things. So you hold it back as a parent. And that's the same way that the subconscious processes everything, but doesn't necessarily burden the conscious with it. Right. Hey, Cyberblitz, thanks for the super chat. For my coffee fund. Yeah, thanks. I just got new coffee, by the way, yesterday. Thanks for the super chat, Cyberblitz. Really appreciate that. It's nice to get a super chat again. Ah, somebody's baking pancakes out there. I can smell it. That's, yeah, nice. Anyway, I really appreciate everybody's participation in the show today in the chat. And the super chat's nice. I hope you're liking the show too. Still, I'm not rounding out or anything yet. Just having a smoke break. You're gonna make some coffee now? Alright. Ooh, quit smoking, started walking regularly. Alright. Good on you, man Young. Yeah, Trevor, nobody cares. Yeah. You know what's also gonna save a small fortune? Eating less.
Gentlemen, Ciccolini here may talk like an idiot and look like an idiot, but don't let that fool you. He really is an idiot.
Right, but yeah, I mean, walking regularly is healthy. Moving in any way regularly is healthy, right? I like to do bike riding. And yeah, it doesn't have to be like an hour, but I do it when I go for grocery shopping, and I like doing that. Right, and that's why I still go grocery shopping for like one packet of eggs. If that's all I need, I'll still do it because, I mean, the weather is nice and I like doing it. Like going on the bike, like seeing what the state of the city is, what people are feeling like, how they're behaving, what their stance is, to take pulse of what's going on out there. That's like my metadata gathering that's on top of just the physical exercise. Do I believe in the soul? Well, that depends on the context, but yes, definitely. I mean, Rudolf Steiner also has the soul as part of the spirit body. Got the spirit, the soul, and the ethereal body, and they're different, and they all have their function, and it gets a bit complicated. A.C. Madsen. Hello, Fiber Roads, good to see you. So many people here, this is great. Alright, so do wicked people that hurt others have a soul? Yes. But I mean, wickedness has a price. You gain issues that you have to deal with, and if you're not redeeming, then you have to deal with not what happens when you don't redeem. So it's like there's still punishment. It's not like you just totally lose your soul, but in another way you could argue, like, the soul is like the spirit body that's very tied in with your ego and like indulgences and all that. It's like your earthly spirit in a way. Well, the actual spirit is more like God's spirit, and like the bigger thing, it's the eternal thing. The soul is like really intricate to like the physical experience, while the spirit is timeless. And you can like sell your soul, which effectively means you lose your autonomy in a way. You adopt a system that like hijacks you, and you just surrender to that, and then eventually it becomes very hard to let go of that, and you'll start to believe that that is you, the thing that effectively starts to possess you. You still have a soul, it's just it gets polluted, hijacked. You get other systems that insert other ideas that insert themselves based on your frequency. I don't know, it's complicated. Right? The original, the colloquial idea of the soul is that spirit body thing that you could, like in Catholicism, that you can like lose and then you don't get in heaven. That's what colloquially is the modern understanding of the soul, but that is like the Catholic model. I technically don't agree with that. Although there is, to a degree, some wisdom in that model. It's not literal, though. Do I carry groceries on my bike? I carry a bag. A backpack. That's how I transport the groceries. I don't have like a bag on the bike. No, that's ridiculous. It's not ridiculous, it's just not, I don't do that. right? So another way to look at people that act wickedly, as they have a soul, but they suppress it out of their consciousness, and just completely try to seal it up, because they just see it as a detriment, and then they don't want to be held back by it, and then they seal it off, or try to, because it's an obstacle to them instead of a meaningful warning mechanism. And people would experience such people as soulless, but they're not without one. They just don't use it the way you're supposed to. They suppress it, but it's there. And you could very much argue that those types of people, at some point when they get older, especially at the end of their life, suddenly they can't suppress their soul, and then they're confronted with what they actually suppressed, and they get dreams and nightmares, which like they get punished for what they did. Their actions haunt them because they were no longer capable of suppressing their soul. Because they get older, and like the need and even the availability of the energy to keep it sealed off, to follow some mission, right? It doesn't hold up anymore. It loses its power, and then you're forced to face the consequence of your actions, and suddenly you don't have the power and the goal and the necessity to suppress your soul anymore, and then it becomes unsealed, and the consequences of everything you've done now overcome you. It's very punishing. But it's better that actually happens while you're still alive, because people have theorized, I can't say that it's provable, that if you don't have that moment and you die with your soul being sealed, then you truly enter hell or something in the afterlife. Yeah, but who knows, right? You could argue that maybe your soul is then so suppressed that you don't take it with you to the afterlife, and now you're basically spiritually incomplete and dislocated, and so you don't enter that reconnection with God, or you become trapped in some sub-layer, which could be hell or something that is less than completion, right? But this is all speculative, though. But yeah, good question, Cyberliz. Good question, complicated answer. I hope it made sense. Life in general is soul crushing. Soul crushing? In a way, yeah. But that's also like how much responsibility about reality do you take upon your shoulders? If you take all of it, yeah, then it will be soul crushing. But it won't literally be soul crushing, it's just your soul is gonna hurt you by confronting with the things that you consciously can't really process. like becoming aware of an injustice that you will naturally have an impulse to want to stop, but then when you try to figure out how, it will not work. So you're like trapped with a sense of injustice that you can't resolve, and that is very punishing. It's like in a cage being tortured. Because you can't do as your soul commands. As God effectively commands through your soul. Right, but that's only if you like literally open up to everything immediately. Like, yeah, then it's too much, duh. You have to gradually build up. You have to pick your battles, as they say. You can't resolve all injustice, but you might be able to resolve some of it through long-term dedication. But in order to achieve that, you have to first decide that you're not capable of dealing with the other things. You have to pick your battles, because if you pick all of them, then you'll succeed at none of them, because it's too much for one person. Becoming an adult destroys the innocence you saw the world with. Yeah. Well, at least it's a confrontation with that it's not all, that not everyone is good and makes the right decision, and that people ruin it for others. But I mean, if you, like, for example, get bullied as a kid, you already have a hint of that. You already know, like, it's not all good. Life can be punishing. So, but yeah, as a default, when looking up as a kid, yeah, it's like you have to believe that the world is in control of people that know what they're doing and have your best interest at heart. Because that's how a parent is to their child, that's supposed to be. So your view as a little kid on the wider world will be copied from your relation with the parent. So that's how you're going to see the world. Like you see your parent and how they act towards you. And if the parent holds back a lot of darkness from the world of you, then you'll be shocked when the world does not do that and shows you it all, shows the darkness. And that's very shocking then, if your parents always protected you from those aspects, never confronted you with that exists. Right? A parent even revealing their inner dark struggles with their kids can be extremely shocking to those kids. You gotta be very careful with that. Like, especially when they're really young. I mean, when they become teenagers, like, it will seep through. They will pull it out. Yeah, they will break you down until you're forced to basically show the darkness that you're dealing with. That's what teenagers often end up doing. But that's during the teenage phase. Like, before that, like, you should keep it, do not confront them as a little child with the darkness. Right? Wait until they come and seek it out, pull it out of you, and then you can confront them. Because they're ready for it, they're seeking it out. But yeah, for me too, Cyberblitz, I mean, even in my teens, I still held on to like an idealistic view of the world, and that it's just everybody's just making mistakes and they're getting pulled into ideas, deluded with those ideas, forgetting how things really work. And like there's a very long time where I just did not believe that evil was truly evil, that it's consciously chosen. And I mean, you could still argue that it isn't, that evil actually comes forth when you vacate your real self, and so that it isn't you, there's another spirit that takes you over and you think it's you. It takes over, you get to experience what it is to be like it, and you might find that very exhilarating and relieving in ways, like, oh, unshackled, I don't have to do this and that. But it's not a natural state, it's evil. And when you snap out of it, you feel like that wasn't me. That's not my normal self. You let it be you. Because people are responsible for what they do or what they allow others to make them do, whether it's other people or whether it's inner processes. You are responsible for what you eventually end up doing. Seeing the someone of darkness of someone you love sucks. Yeah. Unless you know how to deal with it, right? I've always known how to deal with like the dark side of girlfriends, like, because they do have it, and it's like they even have a need to express that, and I could absolutely deal with that because I understood it. I was never like, oh, why do I always have to be like this? Why do women have these moments where they suddenly ask you something, but if you then literally answer them, you're screwed? Because they're trick questioning you. Why do I have to do it? Oh, no, but just know it and know how it works, and then it's okay. It's like another thing you have to deal with that they just have. It works like that. It's okay. It's the only darkness that really is punishing is the darkness that you can't understand. You can't grasp what it is, why it is the way it does, and thereby not being able to deal with it in a way where you can fulfill it, make it naturally recede, make the person aware of it so that they can choose to let go. It doesn't work if you don't understand it. If it just makes you polarize, like, oh, it's evil, now it's you versus me. Yeah, that's not how you fix it. That actually feeds the evil. It reinforces it. It gives it energy to do what it is good at, the evil. It doesn't help the person. Slowly learning how to handle it. We all do, Cyberblitz, all of us. Every individual. Or you could argue even the trolls. They're just a long way to go before they could even admit that any of that is what's happening. But everybody always ends up on that road. Dealing with the darkness, how much can you admit? And what do you let it do to you? Right? Because admission is just the first step. Now you have to deal with it. And a lot of people, if they're too quick to admit it, well, then they just turn to war mode, and then they start the polarization, and that then doesn't fix it. It's a complicated thing. Don't forget to Rogan's it up if you're liking it. I'm gonna take a 2-minute break. I'll be right back. And I'm back. Oh, somebody's having a picnic down there. Guess it's good weather for that. Man, I can't believe we're already 2 hours into the show. Time flies when you're having fun. And again, I really appreciate everybody being here in the chat and having this discussion with me about an actual subject. It's great. I mean, I feel like the luckiest guy in the world. Like, whoa. And I mean, I don't mean to sound sarcastic or anything, or what do you call that? Bitter. I don't want to sound bitter, but it's like, whoa, I'm actually having a discussion live with people on my show about a subject that I put forth. Whoa, I feel so lucky. Summer is good picnic season. Yeah, of course. Springtime is even better, but it all depends on what kind of weather you got. The springtime is just amazing. That's like to get like the real fresh air, and you got all this plant budding energy. Like you got all this like lots of energy going around. It's fantastic. Fall is still the best season in your opinion? Okay. Well, it has its own amazing beauty. I agree that like fall is the season of all the beautiful colored leaves and all that. It does have its own unique beauty, I agree. But I mean the energy is different, and during springtime you got like that youthful energy going around, and it's like very little kids, they get all like super active and jumpy and exhilarated during springtime because they pick up on that energy so much, and it's not there during the springtime or during fall. But yeah, fall is in a way more magical, and that yeah, there are like special moments around the fall and all that, right? Finally observing each season for the first time in my life. Really? What? But yes, seasonal awareness soothes the soul. Right? If you're not aware of it, then the season and things changing, like they become invasive. They like feel like you're in your way when something changes, and you're like complaining about the weather. But if you're like very seasonally aware, then you know that all these things have their own function and reason for being there, and it's like the clock of change. Like everything in nature knows what it's supposed to do because of the seasonal clock. It is what aligns nature. Right? I mean, you could argue that even animals adapt their seasonal behavior based on sensing the seasonal changes. Like, hey, it smells different, it looks different, it looks like this, that means it's hunting time or it's mating time, right? This just behavioral settings and responses in response to observing, perhaps subconsciously, observing the changes in the surrounding. Animals adapt their behavior based on how everything looks different. Right, but I'm glad you're able to enjoy life, Cyberblitz. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's really the simple things that are highly underestimated. Lucifer loves to distract you away from the simple things and say, oh no, you have to sacrifice everything to achieve this goal for your ego or something. Or for power. And then you lose the nurturing effects of just the simple things. Like, obsessions cut you off from God's welfare. Just what is out there for you. If you are yourself, if you are open to observe and experience, obsessions take you away from that and the benefits that you get from those simple things. Because the simple things are not just like, oh, that's nice and it's a waste of my time. No, it isn't. Actually experiencing it do good things for you. Changes the way your energy management works. Stabilizes your spirit. That's what the simple things really do. But yeah, obsession, I mean, when you get obsessed, the obsession will just tell you that it's all pointless. Only the thing you're obsessing about is important. And the rest is, you can afford to not do that. And that's Lucifer whispering to you, and you choosing to give in. Supplement to the title. I love this subject. Today I'm crushing it. And yesterday was too. I really hope this keeps going. Right? So, Flat Earth Early Bird 2360, the conscious child and subconscious parent discussion. and God's welfare, the healing benefits of the simple things in life, and how Lucifer attempts to convince you it's not important. Yeah. Maybe I should call it God's accommodations. Welfare is kind of a loaded word. It's technically correct though. Yeah. He did symbolize enlightenment. Yes, Cyberblitz, but the point is that the whole thing about Lucifer is he doesn't accept God's laws. He's always about the possibilities beyond. That was his entire shtick. It's like he didn't know when to quit. He didn't know balance. And that's like the universal trait that defines him. He doesn't know limits. He doesn't respect God's laws, the borders, the limitations that are necessary for the consciousness, for the human being. Well, it's not a human being. It has like a limitlessness to its spiritual nature. And so that is always the thing. Always pushes everything to go beyond, and then when somebody gives in to that seduction, pile it on until it breaks. And then it'll be like, yeah, you're too weak. Yeah, you're not a god. You can't handle this. Why are you so weak? But you told me I was infinitely strong, I'm a god. Yeah, and... I mean, you're not. Well, it was a delusion. It was megalomania. You just got seduced to cross the lines that you shouldn't cross, and now you're gonna pay the price, and and Lucifer just goes away. It's like, oh, you lost that power momentum? You already did that? You're depleting now, you're being surrendered to Ahriman. Okay, well then Lucifer goes away and go find some other unsuspecting individual and try to seduce them to cross all the lines. Right, so, I mean, Lucifer doesn't really symbolize enlightenment. It symbolizes power and control over the material. Or the spirit within the material, but like, not through God, but bypassing it. Using the power of God, but not following the rules, and then bypassing, and then eventually, like, to the point where it just becomes pure hellbound, just power control over everything, wanting to make it your way. He fell in love with his face in the mirror. Yeah, of course he did. Right? Narcissism, megalomania, arrogance, dehumanization. These are all the traits of Lucifer. Right? Lucifer doesn't respect anything. Doesn't respect anything for what it is. So if Lucifer leaves you alone, it's not because they respect and understand you, it's because they don't have a plan on how to manipulate you yet. Because Lucifer doesn't respect anything, doesn't respect God's creation. Doesn't respect the natural state of things. So he was that guy who was always talking about himself when hanging out with Jesus and God, and they realized Lucifer had issues. Brilliant. That's, yeah. That's, yeah, that is a good way to describe him. Very good, modest, simple way to describe him. Yes. right? And you could say in the social sexual hierarchy, yeah, that Lucifer is like that gamma. Wants to get in your business, wants to make everything about them, and then when you don't accommodate for them, then they're suddenly your enemy and they're gonna destroy you. And yeah, Lucifer. It's pretty much the personification of Lucifer. I'm gonna exchange the word not important with irrelevant, because that is even better. Betty also was a snitch who tried to sabotage other angels who could get in his way to power. Dude, all the time. No, you're getting it, Cyberblitz. Right? I mean, it's like Lucifer is like the most talented, but also most cocky and manipulative, annoying angel. I'm getting kind of hungry. Right, so yeah, I'm really loving today's show, but I mean, I don't think I'm gonna make it like a full 3 hours. It's been great though, I'm very happy with how today's show is going. Great chat participation, actually finally dealing and discussing the subject that I wanted to be discussed, and I'm very happy. Because for me now it feels like, oh my god, finally, now I finally have evidence that what I was talking about is finally getting through to people. Yeah, because that's it. That was the thing. That's what makes it so frustrating. Like all this attempts to like put down an idea and a model and describe it and to get it through, and then it's like no response. And I'm like, did I just put down something incredible and it's just completely negated and discarded? Like people just walking by and just like it never happened, because that's kind of what that felt like. But today proves, no, it is being received. People are now starting to get it. And that's a great relief. Gives me a sense that I'm not just doing it for nothing. Just to get like more whiny troll bitching and shit that has nothing to do with what I talk about. So very happy about today's show and people's activity in the chat. Thank you all for participating. Right, so I will round out. Thanks, Cyberblitz. Right, so thank everybody in the chat. Cyberblitz, Fiber Oats, Amanda Young, good to have you here around. Even Trevor TPS and Mowich, even though you're kind of annoying, but I mean, nobody's perfect. Everybody is a process. Everybody's in a process. Right, but yeah, good to have you all here, and Cyberblitz, thanks for the super chat, as always, very welcome. Right, thanks everyone for coming. Hope you liked this show. If you did, then please don't forget to Rogan's it up. And if you haven't already, follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 PM Amsterdam time every day. And please also do support me through the PayPal, Patreon, Gifts and Go. Links are in the description box below, or send me super chat over at the Rumble live chat when the show is live, or subscribe to my channel and support me that way. Any support would be greatly appreciated, and I can always use it. Right. I'll be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 2361 on a Sunday. Hope to see you all again then. Everybody have a great Saturday and great weekend, and hopefully we can get another great show tomorrow. We'll see. You never really know. Right, I might just skip the show for some reason. I can never really tell ahead of time. Sometimes I think like, oh, I don't want to do a show, and then it's time and I really want to do a show and it's incredible. And other times I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have a great show, and then it's like, what? Nothing comes out. Ugh. It's very hard to get a good grasp on that effect, on how it rolls out. I just have to go with what I got. Right. But today went great. Well, I thought from my side and from people in the chat. So I hope to have a lot more of those. Right, so everybody have a great rest of the weekend. Enjoy the nice weather if you got it. And until the next video, keep it flat.